They lied on you. They laughed at your pain. They turned their backs and walked away, as if your heart wasn't shattered in pieces. And maybe for a moment, you thought they got away with it. But let me ask you something. What if I told you God was watching, not only watching, but already working behind the scenes, quietly, powerfully, and perfectly? They thought they got away with it, didn't they? They lied on your name, twisted your kindness, turned people against you, and when they walked away, they smiled. But what they didn't see was that heaven was watching. What if I told you God is already dealing with them, silently, precisely, and powerfully? Now, before I go deeper, if you've ever felt betrayed, wronged, or overlooked, this channel was made for you. So pause for just a second. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the bell, because what I'm about to share could be the message you didn't know your heart needed. Now, let's go deeper. Not to embarrass them, but to deal with them. Not to shame them, but to remind them who his children are. And you didn't have to say a word, because this is bigger than revenge. This is divine justice. And when God steps in, he doesn't miss. Before we go deeper, if you've ever felt the sting of betrayal, if you've ever cried in silence because of how someone hurt you, this video was sent to your soul on purpose. Make sure you subscribe to this channel right now, because what's coming next will shift your faith forever. Let's walk through this together. Now listen closely. God has a way of moving in silence. He doesn't always send fire. He doesn't always thunder from the sky. Sometimes, he just lets the harvest speak. The people who hurt you, they are starting to feel the emptiness of their own actions. And no, it's not always visible. But behind closed doors, their peace is disturbed. Their plans start to crumble. The very thing they use against you is now turning against them. And it's not your doing. You didn't plot. You didn't fight back. You just let go. And God picked it up. See, when God says, "Vengeance is mine," he's not asking for your permission. He's claiming the case. He's saying, "Let me handle what your heart can't." Have you ever noticed how their smile doesn't look the same anymore? How their confidence seems forced? How the doors that once opened easily for them are now harder to push through? That's not a coincidence. That's not karma. That's God reminding them that his people are never abandoned. This is what happens when you let God fight for you. He doesn't just settle scores. He elevates you in their presence. He prepares a table right in front of the ones who tried to starve you. And you eat in peace. There's a reason your light still shines. There's a reason they can't mention your name without discomfort. There's a reason why, no matter how much they tried to destroy you, you're still rising. It's because the one who saw your pain never forgot it, and he never stopped moving on your behalf. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to fix what they broke. All you need is to trust the process, because the signs are everywhere. God is dealing with those who hurt you, quietly, thoroughly, powerfully. Comment one word that resonates with you so far. You ever wonder why they avoid you now? Why they can't look you in the eye anymore? Why, when your name comes up, they shift in discomfort? It's not guilt, it's conviction. And not from you, from God. See, when someone wounds a child of God, they don't just hurt you, they offend heaven. And heaven always responds, not with chaos, but with correction. Not to destroy them, but to remind them of who you are in him. Because let's be honest, you didn't fight back. You didn't plot revenge. You didn't even wish them harm. You prayed, you cried, and you let go. And that's where the shift started. Because when God sees a heart that surrenders the pain, He takes up the battle. The silence they're experiencing now, the delayed blessings, the peace that seems to escape them, it's not random. It's not just life. It's the hand of God moving in love and discipline. Have you noticed how everything they do feels harder now? How they used to be the loudest in the room, but now they're nowhere to be found? It's not punishment, it's placement. God is putting them in a space where they can reflect, where they can feel what they made you feel. No one escapes God's lessons, not even the people who once stood on top of you, because elevation without humility always leads to a fall. And while they are falling apart, God is building you up, brick by brick, prayer by prayer, day by day. You're not just surviving, you're becoming the proof that God takes what's broken and makes it beautiful. This is what God does. He doesn't just remove the pain. He restores what the pain tried to steal. And the people who hurt you, they see it. They can't understand why you're still glowing, why your joy didn't run out, why peace still lives in your home, even though they tried to burn it down. That's a sign. That's a justice. That's God dealing with them while lifting you. And trust me, they know, they feel it. They can't sleep like they used to. They can't celebrate like they once did. Because every blessing that hits your life reminds them of the one thing they lost: peace. God is not petty, but He is just, and justice always finds its way. You may never hear them apologize. You may never see them suffer, but their silence speaks. Their absence reveals. Their discomfort exposes. You didn't get weaker. You got wiser. You didn't lose. You grew. And the more you grow, the more they shrink in the shadow of their own choices. God is dealing with them, not because you asked, but because He loves you too much to let it slide. So keep moving forward. Keep walking in grace, because your peace is already the proof. If you feel that, comment one word below that describes what you're feeling right now. This one goes deep. It speaks to the soul, and it ends with a fire that pushes a viewer to act, not just watch. There's a moment when the tables turn, and you don't even realize it, because you've outgrown the need for revenge. You don't chase justice anymore. You embody it. You've learned how to smile without pretending, how to forgive without forgetting, and how to move forward without dragging their name through the mud. That, right there, is a sign that God has done the deeper work, and now He's handling the rest. You see, when God deals with those who hurt you, He doesn't just expose them. He redeems you. He takes the years you lost and pays them back in peace. He takes the tears you cried and waters your future with them. You become the walking evidence that no weapon formed against you ever stood a chance. And that silence from your enemies, that distance, that sudden falling off, it's not a coincidence. It's correction. God doesn't shout when He disciplines. He whispers. He convicts. He strips away distractions until they are left with nothing but the mirror. And when they finally look into it, they see the cost, not just of what they did to you, but of who they became in the process. God's justice isn't loud. It's surgical. He's not trying to destroy them. He's trying to wake them up. But for you, it's a new season, a better season, one where your name is cleared, your peace is protected, and your story becomes your strength. You're not who they tried to break. You're who God rebuilt. So when people ask you, why are you glowing lately? Tell them the truth, because God handled what I couldn't. He stepped in, he lifted the weight, and he silenced the voices that once tried to tear me down. And if you've ever been hurt, if you've ever been betrayed, if someone walked away like your presence meant nothing, look around. You're still standing, still breathing, still chosen. That's the sign. That's the proof. That's God moving on your behalf. You don't need revenge. You don't need an apology. You don't need closure. You need to keep walking, because while they are stuck, you're rising. And no lie they told, no wound they left, can stop what God is about to do next in your life. This isn't just your comeback. This is your rebirth. If this message hit your spirit, comment the one word that confirms it.